Do you love to watch people work on cars? Do you love to watch people struggle working on cars? Do you like to be in the comment section saying, "This is what's wrong with your car"? If you're one of those people, well, welcome to the Blue Turd YouTube channel. This is the place for you.
Holy shit! The car was even celebrating.
There she is, in all of her glory. Yo, who's ready to hear this thing freaking run, man? Hell yeah. Get on out of that trailer. You don't belong in here no more. Blue Turd has landed in the garage. And this is what we gotta do in order to get it started. So for one, we got our new crank sensor that I messed up before we went to Summit, which is why we were not able to have a running car for the Summit Racing event. And then this is something I did not film. I may have filmed one of it, I really don't even remember. But this is a finished set of 2.5-inch up pipes to the turbo. We fixed a giant issue where we were running a smaller diameter pipe and it was crunched. So this is all brand new piping to go to our Precision 7285 turbo. So let's get this thing up on the jack stands, throw these pipes on, install a new crank sensor, charge the battery, throw some fuel in it, and get ready to go rip. All right guys, so this is a big defining moment on whether or not I can actually weld. Like, I know I can stick stuff together, but you know, there's a technique to this stuff. And these have not been test fitted since I finished welding them. And if you put too much heat into them, they move around, they don't fit. So now we're gonna try to throw our new hot pipes in. Let's give it a shot. So I'm gonna start with this long one first. This one is gonna go to the back and we're gonna try to snake this around our damper right there. And yeah, well, we'll just go for it. If I remember correctly, we gotta go through here. I don't remember what he did to get it in here. Ah, there we go. Because he said we could do this in all one piece, so we just had to snake it through. All right, we got our back V-band already hooked up. And then this one will go just like so. So let's get this tightened up. Make sure it still fits. Well guys, my worst fear came true. These pipes did move a lot. I did happen to get them on, but holy crap, it took a lot of work. There's no flex joints in this. So let me get up under here and I'll show you what we're working with. Basically, I am not running any kind of flex pipe or anything like that. So if these pipes or the motor position moves, everything is just off. But you can see we have our rear bank back here that kind of meets up with our front bank, and then they both travel through here. Where they meet these V-bands. So basically, we're gonna fire it up. I have a feeling it'll probably leak. I could be very lucky and it not leak because all of these, all of the clamps are bottomed out and it looks like they're on the mating surface. But hey, you know, it could leak. If it leaks just a little, I'm just not gonna worry about it. Hopefully with a couple run cycles and some heat, you know, maybe it'll seal again. I don't know. But it's something I'm not worried about right now. We got other stuff to focus on. So let's move on to the next thing, which is taking this wheel off and getting to that crank sensor right there. There we go. Old crank sensor's out. And away you go. Bye-bye. All right, guys. Crank sensor is in. So now it is the moment of truth. I got the battery charger on it. So let's go ahead and turn the power on. All right, we got power. Let's open up the AEM Infinity software real quick. Okay, I'm going to explain what we need to see for this thing to fire up. On our software, I'm on the cam crank tab, and this is what we need to pay attention to. When this sync state right here reaches 100, that means our crank sensor is working. So I'm not going to try to actually start it right now. We're going to turn it over a few times, try to build up some oil pressure, but while we're doing that, this should go to 100. That's not good. That's definitely not good. I mean, I'll go ahead and try it, but that's not good, fellas. I'm an idiot. Jesus Christ. Guys, forgive your master retard over here. So last year, I switched my cam and my crank sensor to the same style sensors, and I am about positive that I had the cam sensor plugged into the crank and the crank sensor plugged into the cam, and well, no wonder it wasn't starting. So I just switched the plugs around. Let's give it a shot now. All right, let's fire this baby up. All right, I'm pretty sure we already got oil pressure. Yeah, we got oil moving. Guys, are you ready? Let's do it. There you go, guys. She lives. So now I just got to put some transmission fluid in it, put some coolant in it. That way we can run this thing for an extended amount of time. I do already know it is acting really weird because I have not rewired these coils yet. So we do got some weird stuff going on, but at the end of the day, she lives. All right, guys. So just to show you how picky freaking race cars are. Using my temp gun right here, I hit each one of these cylinders. You can see 280, 280, and then this one, 103. That's because this one was not firing. Well, you guys remember how I was talking about I need to rewire these coils? Well, apparently whatever wires are broken inside this wiring harness is so bad that the spark plug wire was basically just arcing. Like it's not even working. So when that happens, it throws all kinds of electrical like interference into the engine and then freaks out the ECU, so it won't run. It just blah, 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 you know. I'll do the sounds later for you guys. But if I unplug our cylinder number 6, which we are having all the issues out of. Now keep in mind this will only be on 5 cylinders. So I guess now that it runs, it doesn't really run well. It's time to cut apart this wiring harness, and it's something I absolutely hate. I'm not even gonna film it. I'm just going to leave this footage be right now. I'm gonna get to cutting all of his wires out, and our friends from Tech Performance, Jonathan Atkins, he whipped us up some a coil harness, and we're gonna put it on. Let's get to it. This is what's going to solve all the issues for me. So we got a big 75 amp relay that we'll be able to use instead of powering them how I am powering, which I think is like a 30 amp relay. It's definitely not enough, and we're gonna get rid of a lot of the solder joints that I kind of screwed up. So it's time to get all of this cut and try to wire this up neatly and as nicely as we can. I called it a night last night, but check it out. I am so happy with this. It looks way cleaner. Thank you to the guys at Tech Performance. So we are to a point where now I can test to see if this even works, because I hate to even rip it all out if I did it wrong, because God, that would be a nightmare. We got our 75 amp relay right here. We have 2 power feeds. So we have one power feed that feeds the front 3 cylinders, and then another power feed for the back cylinders. A couple things need to be tucked up, but basically we are to a point where now all we gotta do is hook the battery back up, throw some spark plug wires on it, and pray to God this fixed the issues. Let's get it, boys. All right, I would be lying if I said I was not nervous. I got something in my roof. I don't know if you guys heard that on the camera, but all right, we got some company. All right, I'm nervous. Let's turn power on and make sure we're not smoking anything. That would be a bad thing. Oh. Okay. We got some noise. Obviously, we have something up here. Something is obviously up. Yay. So I'm trying to troubleshoot this, and basically what I was doing is using my temperature gun to measure the temperature of these coils, and then I noticed one of these is not like the others. Cylinder 4, that coil is burning hot, which tells me that coil is probably shorted out inside, which means it's no good anymore. So my thought process here is that we're going to unplug cylinder 4 and try to restart the motor. If it runs fine and just runs on 5 cylinders, then we'll replace that coil, because sometimes, like, having a bad coil, it's probably playing electrical hell if that's shorted out. I mean, it could backfeed all kinds of stuff in all the other cylinders, just because all the wiring is kind of connected with all the grounds and et cetera, et cetera. So let's try this again. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? Obviously, this is not the issue. That coil is unplugged. All right, so I got that one coil replaced, checked it with the temp gun, everything looks good. One last shot. This car's whipping my ass. Still no start. Well, like I said in the beginning of this video, if you like to watch people struggle working on cars, well, you're in the right place. So, where I am at, the new coil didn't fix it. Now I'm hitting it with a timing light. But it is firing right at like 8 or 9 degrees. Number 1 cylinder, which means that's fine because the thing is probably at 9 degrees of timing in the computer. The motor's in time. The coil fires when it needs to, but it still doesn't run. I don't get it. I don't get it. Hop in the comment section. This is what's wrong with it. Tell me, please tell me what's wrong with my car. On the next list of things that Zach is trying to make the Blue Turd run, I pulled this wire out of the harness. This is our logic ground. I had this connected to a sensor ground that was in the harness for an old map sensor that I don't longer use. It worked on the last coils, but I don't know, was it part of our problem before? I don't know. But a friend of mine from Wireworks who built the harness, he told me to try hooking this to battery ground. So here we are. That is my battery ground. Let's give it a shot one more time. It's like it's firing 180 degrees out, but I know it's not. This is ridiculous. Guys, I wish I could lie to you and be like, I just got done doing this, just got done doing that, and now it starts. But I'd be lying because I didn't have the camera going and we got it friggin' running. So it was a whole mess of things. Somehow, by having the throttle positioning sensor out of calibration, it was doing all kinds of weird stuff under cranking. On top of that, we had a bad ignition coil on cylinder 6. Don't know how that happened. A bad ignition coil on number 4. And one of the plugs were fouled because I just put some regular drive around plugs in it. No race plugs or anything like that. So just, you know, they were used. Didn't realize it was fouled. So, without further ado, the Blue Turd. There we go, guys. So it won't go above 3,000 RPM right now, but I'm pretty sure it's because I don't have an O2 sensor on it. That's because the O2 sensor failed. So the last time I was at Bradenton, the O2 sensor failed, and I was not able to make a pass against Fluffy and the guys in X front wheel drive. Well, I got a new O2 sensor, so I'm gonna go grab that, throw it in, top it off with fluids. Time to get this thing race ready, baby. There you go, guys. Blue Turd is alive and well. Guys, Thank you for tuning into the channel, watching this video. We got more of this to come. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification icon. I'll catch you guys on the next one.